Welcome back to Ryker Rides. I'm here at the Motorcycle Training Institute in Fort Lauderdale. I'm excited to be here, and today's video is all about safety. And I have a ton of questions that I get on my channel, and I see them all over Facebook. Sorry, it's a little bit windy. About what is a training class that Can-Am offers? How do you sign up for it? What's it like? Is it worth it? And I think a lot of people who have never ridden before are a little nervous about the class, you know, what to expect. So I'm here today to kind of show you a little bit. I'm going to get inside the classroom. Scott, the training instructor here, has been gracious enough to let me go in. I believe he's got 7 people in his class, and he's allowing me to come in and get an insider view of what goes on in the class. I've taken the class. I cannot stress it enough, and I've talked about this a long time ago, how important it is to take this class. So what is the class? It is a riding education program that Can-Am has devised, REP, that Can-Am has devised to get people a 3-wheel endorsement on their motorcycle, on their license, to get them out riding safely. The key word here is safety. So what this does is it teaches you the safety rules of the road while you're on a bike, and it also teaches you about safety gear, what you should be wearing when you're riding. And then lastly, it's a 2-day course. The beginning part of each day is classroom work, and then the second half of the day you're out on the course and you're riding and you're actually testing out the different bikes. Now it depends on what bikes are available at the time. I keep getting hair in my mouth. So it depends on what bikes are available at the time. I believe this class is only going to have Spyders. They're not going to have any Rykers, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. So it allows people to kind of test out the different models, test out the different bikes. So if you're looking specifically to test ride a Ryker, call your local training facility and ask them when they're going to get the Rykers in to train. Other than that, you kind of just take the class. It's all 3 wheels. It's all good. So we're going to go inside. He's going to talk. I'm going to interview him a little bit as well, Scott, and find out more details about the class, what to expect. And I plan on bringing home a brochure of what the actual course is like. And so I'll have a sneak peek and kind of go over some pages, maybe show you a sample test questions. So I just want to make it as easy as possible for you guys to sign up for the class. I'll put the website down below. It's right on the Can-Am website. They have a rider education program. You can just Google that or click the link below. And they have them, I think, in 40 states that offer this class. Check with your local states on what your state requires for an endorsement on your bike. For example, Rhode Island, where I'm from originally, they require a 2-wheel endorsement, not a 3. And states like California, for example, don't require anything except a regular driver's license. Now, that being said, should you take a 3-wheel class even though they don't require it, or they require a 2-wheel class? My personal answer is yes. It teaches you about the bike, and more importantly, you're riding someone else's bike to test it out. You're riding for a while on the course, and you're getting experience riding it without worrying about it damaging your bike. Not that you're going to damage their bike, but it's better to test it out on someone else's bike. And it's also, it just gives you a sense of comfort before you buy it, because a lot of dealerships don't let you test ride it. So before you buy it, it gives you that opportunity to see if you even like riding a 3-wheeler. So even if you have a 2-wheel endorsement, I highly recommend this course. I've taken it. I've taken a 2-wheel course and I've taken a 3-wheel course. It is very different. So anyway, let's get to it. Let's go inside and see what it's all about and give you some inside information. And then after we go inside, I'll come back later and we'll see what the riding course is like. And hopefully it should help you guys out. If you have any questions, please comment below and let me know. The course is $99 and it is very inexpensive for the knowledge that you get. So again, this is not a paid endorsement from Can-Am. Can-Am did not ask me to do this video. I am just a huge supporter of this class because I think everyone should be required to take it just because of the knowledge that you get from it and the experience you get before you ride on your own. So let's go check it out. I'll see you inside.
That stresses, once again, the need to be how far back? Following to a minimum of 2 seconds, which is how far at 60 miles an hour? Say again?
135?
180? 2 times 90? When's the last time you went up or down an expressway and had 180 feet between you and the vehicle in front of you? Why? It's not a trick question. We all know the answer. It's an honest answer. Why can't we keep that space in front of us?
Because somebody will fill it.
Somebody will fill it. 5 people will fill it if they think they can all get in there. Okay, so that stresses even more the need to be able to scan and identify materials early and perceive them early on in the process when you're out in the open like this.
Absolutely.
What else do you have?
Escape paths. So you want to make sure you have a sufficient safety margin, and you want to make sure you have space to ride properly, to brake properly, to swerve if you need to. And I always ride like they're trying to kill me, so.
All right, so we know what we've got to be scanning for out there. Now we have to come up with some basic strategies on just how to deal with normal driving on a regular basis. Once again, a lot of this stuff as we know, but we'll approach it differently because of the potential for injury that's caused out there. Somebody read the introduction out loud here on page 25, please.
Crashes are caused by interactions of factors, or a combination of hazards. You can manage risk by being able to search, evaluate, and execute well. Below are common riding situations and ways to help you be a better, safer rider.
Awesome. So you've got your group assignments, 25 through 27. You can see each of you has specific pages. We don't have anything that leads on a single page here. So go ahead and knock that out. Let me know when you're ready to continue on.
Routes, driveways, alleys, medians with openings that allow left turn across lanes, pedestrian crosswalks, and railroad crossings should be all considered intersections. You want to have a 360 awareness. Be aware of blind spots. Even if you are in view, drivers could still turn in front of you.
Okay.
So I'm here with Scott. He is, so you go by Scott, right?
I'll go by Scott.
Nice. He is one of the trainers here at, so tell us where we are. The
Motorcycle Training Institute in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. And how long have you been a training instructor here?
With MTII, 15 years.
So are you a training instructor for both 3-wheel and 2-wheel?
Yes.
Both. Okay, cool. And have you seen a huge rise of the 3-wheel people coming in now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really, really grown. It's crazy.
It has.
So let's discuss what people have. So I got a lot of people that are kind of anxious about the class and what to expect. So I did a little bit of video inside the class as well, and then I'll do some of the riding to show people what it's like. So people who are a little bit anxious about the class, I've taken the class, and it's a classwork, so there is some work involved, but for the most part, it's fun, it's educational, it teaches you a bit about safety. It should be fun. You got a good instructor, right? That helps.
It helps.
So for people that are kind of nervous about taking the class, do you have any advice for them before they come out to the class to kind of help out with it?
If they're taking the 3-wheel class, things can be a little bit calmer initially because of the fact that the motorcycle is so much more stable to start with.
Right.
When you're dealing with the Can-Am product, I don't care if it's the Spyder units, as you see here, or the Ryker series, 90% of the Spyders or more have a semi-automatic transmission. The Spyders have, the Rykers have 1 gear. So there's not a ton of stuff that's different than driving necessarily. All the road rules, everything else, they apply specifically to motorcycling as well. You have a throttle instead of a gas pedal. It's operated by the right hand. And you have one brake. It's operated by the right foot. So the learning curve doesn't have to be that vast.
Do you think it's more difficult of a learning curve if someone's coming off of two wheels because they're so used to hitting the throttle and the brake to coming off of two wheels? You know, do you recommend they take the course as well?
Not necessarily for these. If you know you're going into three-wheel initially to start with, no, stick with the three-wheel course. Now, if you buy a product other than BRPs, yeah, you're probably going to have to be dealing with a clutch and a shifting mechanism. Some of your Spyders are that way as well. So, but again, because the potential for risk is diminished so much by the fact that the machines are stable and they're not going to just arbitrarily tip over under you, or you won't be in a position where you cannot hold the machine up. As a, for instance, learning the process of using the clutch correctly and shifting is not a huge learning curve.
And I also heard that, I don't know if you have this in your, I know there's no Rikers in today's class, but I know for the Can-Am Rikers, for the training, they have a training key now that limits, so you can only go 28 miles per hour. So no one's going to kind of whiskey throttle it into a wall or something, so it kind of limits their speed.
That's a beautiful thing. I haven't experienced it yet. I know it's there.
Right.
And
So that's nice.
I think that's a very nice tool to have for educational purposes.
And so let's talk about safety gear. What do people need to bring? And I know it's a little different now with COVID because it used to be you could borrow gloves, you could borrow stuff now. So what do people need if they register for the class? What do they need to come with them? What do they need to wear when they come to class?
They need to have long sleeves on any shirt or jacket or what have you.
Okay.
They need to have long pants, no holes or anything in the pants or shirt. They need to have footwear that covers the ankles well. They should have something that covers their eyes. Glasses are sufficient. Safety-wise, are they the best? Not necessarily, but we're in a controlled environment, so glasses will do. And obviously you need them if they're prescription lenses.
Of course.
And DOT-approved helmets.
Okay.
Now, we have helmets, we spray them down, we clean them. But if somebody has a helmet, they'd be better off that way, obviously.
Right. So
And
and
gloves.
riding in
I
gloves.
left off the gloves yet,
And
yeah.
gloves, right. So
Full-fingered gloves,
full finger gloves. Perfect. So the course is a 2-day course.
yes.
And so what is the time frame for the course? How does the course run? Like morning coursework, afternoon riding?
In the case of the three-wheel curriculum, the answer is yes. Classroom work first. There are 2 classroom sessions. They run roughly 3.5 or 4 hours. And then the range exercise also, depending on the number of students, run 3 to 4 hours also.
Perfect.
But the classroom must be completed before the range sessions can be completed on the three-wheel curriculum.
Correct. And then so what I think is the coolest thing about this is that you basically get qualified for your three-wheel endorsement right after you take this class.
Yes.
So you don't have to do anything else. You're ready to go from this
Well,
class.
the answer is yes, but your key word was qualified.
Right.
And that's important because the completion certificate card that we
Yeah.
give you is not the valid endorsement in Florida.
Absolutely.
In Florida, that is a means towards gaining
Right.
your endorsement on your license. So
Okay.
there is a process you have to go through once you've left the course, and we cover all that as part of the wrap-up at the end of the course
Right.
before people go.
Right. But from my understanding is you basically, the course is Saturday and Sunday, and then on, say, Tuesday, they can go to the DMV, it's registered, they hand in their license, they get their new license back with the three-wheel endorsement on it. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay, yeah.
Normally, that's the truth, but with the COVID thing, you're gonna have to make an appointment,
Yes.
go in,
Yeah.
and,
It's
but
not,
yes.
it's not as easy as it used to be, for sure.
2 days from the course completion, the state will have the information necessary to know that you qualify to have the endorsement added to your license. So if you wait 2 days before you call the DMV,
Right.
you'll be able to verify that you're actually in the computer, and there won't be any hiccups later on down the line when you have an appointment, as a
Right.
for instance.
And then, so once, to make it clear, once you're done with this class, there's no other future testing. There's no more testing. Like we go to the DMV, there's no more testing. Your testing is done. You're ready to get your endorsement.
As
That's
long
the
as you
future
get the
class.
endorsement within 1 year.
Oh, that's great
Okay,
information.
that's
So,
a,
who would take the class and then not get an endorsement? That's crazy. It's like, if you're gonna take a class, you go, you know, to the next step.
You would think so, but.
But that's
and
interesting, so
probably-
we also have a 1-year expiration. That's,
Yes.
I wonder if that's true for all states, probably, you know.
I don't know, state by state.
This is
Not
from
necessarily true in all, because some states don't require the course for endorsement.
Right, California, for example, just requires a driver's license. They don't require anything.
I don't
And
know, I
then-
haven't looked at them all.
Yeah, I looked at it before I came. And then Rhode Island, for example, they require a 2-wheel endorsement. So different states, you have to check with your local states and your local laws to find out what is required of
Right.
where you are. I just think this is a phenomenal course. I'm like,
It's a good curriculum.
It's a good curriculum. Safety, road, road safety, the best way to kind of handle yourself on the bike.
Mhm.
And especially being able to test ride a 3-wheel, you've got the 2 wheels up front, and get a feel for it on
Mhm.
someone else's bike. So
Right.
you're in a safe
That's very
environment.
true.
You're with your peers. You've got a certified instructor with you, and it's the best way to learn versus buying a bike and practicing on your street, and hopefully it goes well.
Right.
So it's a closed course. It's great, and we're going to break for lunch, and then I'm going to go hopefully catch you guys on the course and check that out.
Just one more quick
Yeah,
thing, if I
please.
may. You know, you mentioned that, well, in Florida, a 2-wheel motorcycle endorsement will cover operating 3 wheels. But the
Yes.
reverse is not true.
Correct.
If you have an endorsement specifically for 3-wheeled motorcycle operation, you cannot operate legally
Correct.
a 2-wheeled motorcycle on
Correct.
public roads.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, yeah, you've got to check with your local laws on state, it literally varies from state to state to state. And I know this program that Can-Am offers, Can-Am subsidizes the cost, so it's only $99. And
That's true.
it's offered, I believe, in 40 states or 39 states or something like that. It's not offered in every state.
I don't
but
have the
it's-
figures in my head,
It's
but-
offered in most states.
Yeah.
So it's great. Is there anything else we should address?
I think you've covered it pretty well.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you for taking the time, Scott. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I know
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So I appreciate it. So thank you very much. Have a great lunch, and we'll go see you on the course.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate your time.
But there's a rod in here that's connected the brake pedal to the brake actuator. And the length of the rod that you need for the length of your leg, etc., is what determines where those are going to be. You have to purchase a double-side rod to get it in there. As opposed to the breakers that some of you have, where you can just lift the foot pedal, slide it back and forth, and put the foot pegs where you want them. With that also, if you lift the foot pedal, you can pull the brake pedal out to the right and pivot it up or down to a location that's comfortable for you. Alright? These both happen to be semi-automatic transmissions, so the shift is here. Upshift, downshift. Semi-automatically, they'll downshift automatically. These two are also limited edition. These are Spyder marks. As you can see, it's got full loaded, again, upgraded radio. You've got hand warmers. I don't think we're going to need hand warmers or seat warmers today. Electric windshield, all kinds of radio controls. If you want to come in and take a look at them, come around, you're welcome to. Just make sure we've got our masks on, please. As you can see, these have floorboards that are standard. Those of you that are slightly shorter than I, believe it or not, these, as large as they are, most of my shortest riders have found these most comfortable because of the seating position. They're able to slide forward, not have to slide back, and they can get to the brake just a little bit better. All right? You can see that the RP has the throttle, control the roll-off. Practice that repeatedly on your own. High speed horizon. Go to half throttle, control the roll-off. Quarter throttle, control the roll-off. Keep doing that a bit. Okay, the brake controls. Apply the brake pedal with your right foot. Press progressively. And then release. that a couple times. Now, eyes back through the horizon. Foot on the floorboards if you have floorboards. Now, apply the brake. And then release the brake and put the foot back on the floorboard. Practice that repeatedly. Put your foot on the floorboard. Hold on, quarter throttle. Roll off, then apply the brake. Do it again. Practice that several times on your own. You guys are going to keep paying attention and applying like this. We're going to have fun today. Alright, feet on the floorboard. Engine cutoff switch is on top of the right thumb control. Figure out how it works. Red.
Ryker is much harder to steer. I mean, not the Ryker, the F3 is not as easy to steer as this is. The RT seems, even though I think it's the same motor, it seems to have a little different throttle.
It's mapped differently.
Yeah.
I had a student say the same thing last week. So, yeah. On the sportier side of the F3, right?
Yeah, it's definitely more responsive. This is smoother.
So the last exercise I asked you, what controls concern you the most? Same question. What's concerning you the most now that you've had a little bit of time to run?
And you don't have to throttle so hard. It just goes. It picks up every point.
When I first started out, I was a little nervous, but then as I kept going, it got a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. And I was able to, adjust the throttle.
Another big difference is the seat height, and it looks distinctly different from one to the other. It feels different. Like you're up on top of it, and then you're kind of in it.
Sure. So if you had a question regarding anything we've done thus far, what would it be?
Where can I buy one?
Howard Motorsports.
They got.
That's our sponsor. They